Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Another episode of Views for Build in the books. Let's do this thing. Today, I want to get that 370 back on the road. That's the game plan. Stay tuned. I really wish I could just head straight into the shop and get working on the 370Z, but there are some chores that we got to do, but they're not too bad. First thing we got to do is pay for the new Gambler 500 car that we bought on auction yesterday. So I'm at the bank now. I'm going to get a cashier's check cut, and then we'll head down to Copart and get that car paid for. While I'm on the subject of cutting checks and buying things, I just want to say thank you guys so much. Thanks to the sponsors that sponsored us last month and the new ones coming up this month, as well as all of you guys that have helped interact with the sponsors and you know, clicking the links in the description or following on Instagram or whatever it may be. It's a huge help, and just purely because of that and your guys' interaction with our sponsors and stuff like that, it enabled us to bring two really cool cars and what will be really cool builds and transformations and just really fun to the Gambler this year. And it completely flat out would not be possible without you guys. So thank you guys so much for doing that. All right, I'm gonna go get some money, then we'll head down to Copart. Pro tip that I just found out, if you ever want to come to Copart and not worry about waiting in line or anything like that, go exactly when the auctions are going. I just realized that the local auctions are going right now and there's nobody here. It was a ghost town. It was like 5 minutes in and out and I was totally done, which is fantastic. So like I said, car's now paid for, shipping's paid for, it'll roll right into the shop. I still can't say that without laughing. It'll arrive probably next week and I'll probably show you guys it then. I'm not really sure. Oh, I wanted to give you guys some hints. It is in the end, after fees, it was fees and shipping is $5,000 to get this car to my house. I think it is the fastest car you can buy for $5,000. I'm pretty sure. So that's a hint, and yeah, we're bringing one sports car and one four-door sedan to the Gambler, which is a mainly off-road thing, so we're gonna have some work to do. But I am so excited about that. It's gonna be a nice little break from the Datsun, the like minute details, to just have a lot of fun with automobiles. It'll be a good time. Anyways, let's get to the shop now. Actually, yeah, let's go get our new part for the Z, and then we'll get to the shop. All right, we're in luck. We got the new part to replace the old part. They're calling it a rear forward lateral link. I'm gonna call it the oops, I drifted into a curb bar. We may need to get another one of those in the future when we break the car ourselves. But for now, 45 bucks, not too bad. Let's get to the shop and get it installed. All right, back at the shop, we should definitely make sure to have some fun while the weather is cooperating. So this is pretty simple. This needs to go back in. It kind of goes more like that. In that direction. That's gonna go right in there, and then we're gonna have to try and button up the rear sway bar and put that back in. Now that could be a problem because the car is up on jack stands only on one side. So if that's a problem, we're gonna have to jack it up from the center so we have an equal amount of pressure on both wheels, which I suspect, oh no, actually, sway bar's moving okay in there. So I suspect it won't be a problem. I take it back. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing in here. I'm gonna try and get it in here pretty quick because I actually got some friends coming in the next hour to help me move that Z. All right, we got that camber arm in there. I originally thought it was a tow arm, but I'm learning now it's a camber arm. I could tell by when I was doing the adjustment, or at least that's what it really seems like to me. So I got it in there, and I just used kind of the old dust pattern on the where the old bolt goes in to tell me where to set it. So I set it back to where it was originally. So that should be all right. I probably won't even notice any difference. Got that all set up, back in, everything tightened down. Now that's all good. So coming over here, the big problem of why I was like, oh, let's go get the car registered and do all that fun stuff. This wheel isn't gonna live through too much longer. You can see right here, it's punctured all the way through, and then that's like the bottom of the tire. So I don't really see how it's been holding air as well as it has, but the wheel is toast and we need to get a new one. So I've been working with Koenig on getting a set of wheels for this car. I'm really excited about the set that's gonna come, but for now, we can't do a lot of driving, but I think we can do a burnout. And now that I own this house, I can do burnouts in my own driveway, which is fantastic. So I'm gonna throw this wheel on and we're gonna see what it can handle. The Z is officially back on the road, just with a wonky leg, foot, toe, just a bad toe. All right, burnout time. Start her up, clutch in. There we go. I think I'm gonna let it warm up. I don't hate this car. I hate the Mercedes, I don't hate this car. All right, we're in position. I haven't done any burnouts in my driveway ever, so I have no idea how this is gonna go. Traction control off. That's important. I keep rolling forward. This isn't fair. Doesn't work. Why is it that every time on my channel I'm like, okay, it's time to go do a burnout? It's like, nope, Chris can't figure out a burnout. I'll try my best, guys. And yet, somehow the tire still holds air. Interesting. All I managed to do is dig a hole in my driveway. Pathetic. It's really hard to do a burnout and not go anywhere, because if I went anywhere, I was gonna smash into the Mercedes. We couldn't have that happen twice in 1 week. All right, well, the Z is officially back on the road. We're gonna get some new wheels in soon, and then we'll be able to spend a lot more time driving it. And then we'll have things like welded differential and other goodies that'll come along next, and drifting sessions. And yes, I know a little left foot braking would go a long ways, but I was trying. It's hard materials over here. Next thing that we gotta do is figure out how to open my non-open closey garage door, because the car won't fit through a standard door. So Chelsea and I are gonna work on figuring out how to open this bad boy. All right, next up, Chelsea's got the right idea. It's time to mount the hoist to the ceiling. I got my friend Bronze with me. A lot of you guys were concerned about the weight on the ceiling, so Bronze and I will hang on the ceiling before we do it. There's no way that we don't weigh both more than that shell does. So we'll stress test the ceiling, then we're gonna mount the electric hoist to the ceiling, and then we'll work on the car. We got the hoist mounted. So it goes on that bar, which is actually a piece of our roll cage, and that goes across the two beams there, and that holds that up there and gives us a little bit of variability back and forth, side to side. And then we wired this thingy up, and so the car will hook onto this, and then as that motor works on this switch right here, that'll go up and down. So now comes the hard part. We need to bring the car in. I think we're gonna figure out 4 holding points for the, you see how high you can get? We're gonna figure out 4 mounting points for the ratchet straps, 1 on each corner, and then we will, once we have those all figured out, we'll try and find a way for them all to converge in the middle. On the load leveler, actually, so they'll converge on the load leveler, and then we'll start to walk it in here. Time for the moment of truth. We have the straps on the car. They're all ready to go. Those, we were gonna use the load leveler, but we found out my ceiling's not tall enough to use that. So those are gonna go directly onto that hook here. And by our math and measurements, the car should land right about here, but we may not clear the strut towers as far as height, so we're gonna have to make the car actually go over them as it should. Now, I did the measurements on all the strut towers and the strut tower design, but I didn't account for, oh, we don't have that little circular thing in there anymore. There's about a ½ inch here on both sides that makes 1 whole inch that I didn't account for. That could get us, but I'm hoping it won't. So, fingers crossed. We officially did a thing. We hung a car by the roof and it looks good. So because of our ratchet strapping and how that's all twisted up and stuff like that, this is it's hung in the right space that I want it to, but Chelsea, go ahead and let go. When we let it go, it's trying to unwind itself over there. But other than that, it's nice and easy to move around. And you can see that our wheel, what are those? Strut towers are going to be a close fit, but they will fit, which was, you know, very important. We're going to have to take out some of this stuff up here, which I kind of thought we would, but it'll be nice because then we can take that piece of the body and actually connect it to the strut tower, and that'll add more structural rigidity. Now, whether or not we do it on this actual car, I have no idea still, but this is going to be great for measuring stuff around. So it's just from here on out, it's going to be, you know, fine adjustments of the ratchet straps and stuff. We'll get it completely level, and then we can hit the button, we can lower it down onto and over things, but we're not going to be able to go too far while this bar is still here. So that's some stuff I have to think about. Because this thing was hit, if we start cutting those bars out, then if it has, you know, any like built up pressure in it or stuff and it wants to snap way out of shape, it will definitely do it once we remove those bars. So I gotta kind of figure that concept out. But yeah, that's how we're gonna leave it today, hanging from the ceiling. All right, so that's it for work today. I mean, I set myself 2 goals for today, really one goal, which was get the 370 working and back on the road, which we definitely did. And then the secondary goal, if we could, was to get that 240 in the air. And we did both of them pretty well, if I do say so myself. So now those of you that watched this show for a while know that today is trivia day. It's time to head off to trivia. We're here. All right, it's about time to start trivia. There's some tough competition in there, and I realize how lame that sounds, but there's a lot of teams in there that often get first. So if we do well, I'm just gonna say that that's really good this week. Anyways, we'll be Team Dynamite Goat. You'll hear our standings over the thing. Fingers crossed. If we're as good at trivia as we are at hanging cars from ceilings, we're gonna be great.
5 per second. Let's talk to things, blood. And Dynamite Goat. He's first place now. All right, 6th place, Dynamite Goat. 1st place. Here we go. 5th place, Dynamite Goat.
All right, well, trivia's over. We ended up getting 5th and learning that Adrian and Chelsea have terrible taste in television.
Oh,
just flat out.
Beauty pie, booty pie.
All right, so trivia's a wrap. We ended up getting, oh, there's no lights anymore. We ended up getting 5th out of 9 or 10 teams. We're not really sure. I think there's 10 teams because there's awesome place and then 9th place. So 5th out of 10 teams, not great. Like I said, it was a really tough field this time. All right, back home, and I have a ton of editing work to do, so I think this is where I'm gonna call it a wrap. I just wanna let you guys know that tomorrow we're back at the shop, and then after that, we have to do some stuff working with a brand on some videos that are gonna be filmed and aired at a later date. So we may have a little bit longer delay than normal. Keep in mind, we always take the weekend off, but coming back, I'm trying not to have any delay, but that means like, I don't know, 14 days of working in a row or whatever, so we'll figure it out. It's all definitely absolutely worth it. So that's about it. I hope you guys have fun today. I had a really good day. We paid for our car. Was that today? I don't know. All I remember was the awesome part where we hung a 240Z from the roof. Fantastic. Thank you guys for being here with us. If you want to help out and support BS for Build, go to bsforbuild.com. Picking up any of the merchandise there all goes directly towards supporting the build. And if anybody's worried about me buying too many cars or anything like that, like, just chill. Don't worry about it. These cars are going to be the Mercedes, and the new car is going to be brought out in July when we start prepping our Gambler 500 cars. If anybody wants to join us, BS for Build, on the Gambler 500, it's as easy as go to the Gambler 500 and have fun and shoot me an email when you get there or whatever, and we'll be there. So that'd be a great time to meet all you guys and all that other stuff. Anyways, if you want to support, you know how to do it. We're working on new merch this upcoming weekend, and if you want to find us in more places, BS for Build on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch. I will be on Twitch this weekend, definitely on my downtime, and I'll see you guys on there. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Peace.